A trip to the U.S. Virgin Islands didn't go as planned, but was capped off with a victory before heading home. After some lineup shuffling, we'll check in with the head coach for his thoughts on the state of the team. The Lopes get some love from an NBA star on Twitter, and the holiday spirit has arrived as some of the Lopes share their Christmas memories. It's all coming up right now on The Dan Marley Show. Hello and welcome to the Dan Marley Show, presented by Talking Stick Resort. As we join you for this show, the team is in a bit of a funk, I would say, a little bit of a slide. You had back-to-back wins at home before heading out to St. Thomas Virgin Islands. Before that trip, how did you feel about the team? Had you felt like after those two wins, coming off of that Montana State win, that things were kind of looking on the up and up?
Well, I thought we took a step forward.
Yeah.
We battled against a good Montana State team and found a way to win at the end. So I was excited to get on the trip. It's always sometimes get away from home and to kind of bond a little bit and playing a three-game series where you're going to play against really good competition in the Virgin Islands, where we get a chance to just be with each other and try to grow as a team. So the first game against Valparaiso, I thought a lot of good things. We did a lot of really good things, especially defensively. Offensively, we were hitting on all cylinders, but turnovers and free throws really cost us that game. So although that we lost that game, I thought we took a step forward as far as how hard we played in our execution. And then Ford took another step back. Just wasn't very good on either ends of the ball. And then Illinois State, I thought, again, really rise to the challenge, did a lot of really good things, and found a way to win a tough game. So disappointed in the 1 and 2 play in the Virgin Islands, but I thought it ended on a positive note.
Is it so microscopic? I mean, you really cannot. You have to play almost error-free basketball, knowing that you have a depth.
No, this is. If I'm gonna be completely honest, this is the first time in 7 years that I've been here that I've had to coach effort. Not a lot of effort on this team, and that basically comes down to the guys. Again, if I'm going to be totally honest, as a coaching staff, you shouldn't have to come in every day and wonder about the effort. That's a hard thing to do. And as I said, this is the first time in 7 years that I knew for a fact that every game that we played in, that we were going to play extremely hard and do whatever it takes. Now, we may not win the game, but we'd play really hard. And for whatever reason, this team, there hasn't been a consistent effort, both defensively and offensively. And we can make as many excuses as we want, the lack of depth on the roster or whatever. But these guys are getting a chance to play a ton of minutes, a lot of minutes. And the execution, the effort, just isn't there consistently, especially on the defensive end. Against IPFW, they got into the paint continuously, shot a high percentage. Offensively, when we moved the ball, we looked better. But again, it comes down to we're just not making shots. We're getting fine looks at baskets, good-looking threes, good-looking pull-up jump shots, points in the paint. We're just not converting a lot of ways. And they come down and make good shots or hard shots. And defensively, it's been very disappointing because we, at this point, aren't able to stop anybody from getting in the paint.
You said it's the first time in 7 years, and as an old guy, you talk about younger people. Do you find that your approach to coaching has to change a little bit?
No, my approach has always been the same. I've actually lightened up on these guys, and maybe that's the reason. Maybe I have to go back to being the maniac that I usually am. But as I said, you shouldn't have to coach effort. You really shouldn't. These guys are young kids. They have a great opportunity to play here at Grand Canyon in front of a great atmosphere. And as a coach and as a coaching staff, we talk it all the time. It's a little concerning that when we go out there, we don't know if the effort's going to be there.
You did move the lineup a little bit for that final game, and you put J.J. Rhymes in the game. You put Bryce Okpo, the freshman, into the game. Can you talk about those two guys and their performance in that game?
I thought they did well in that game. I think Bryce, as a freshman, the guy that we were going to redshirt, has a hard time scoring, but he's one of the guys that plays with a lot of energy and effort. Makes some mistakes because he's a freshman, but I know he's going to go out there and play extremely hard. JJ does it in spurts, not all the time, but he's a good passer, does some good things. But the bottom line is we got to get our best players playing well. Right now, Carlos is not playing well, and that really hurts us. He's a first-team All-WAC nomination guy. He's struggling right now. Alessandro's been playing better offensively, but they did a good job against him, double teaming in the post. So although he still had his 20 points, he's got to be better defensively and do a better job there. But you say it all the time, your best players have to play well.
Isaiah Braun had a career-high 21 points against Illinois State. It was his first double-digit game until mid-November, I guess. Is he capable of putting up
He's
those?
capable, but we have to do it in the right way. A lot of those points that he got at Illinois State was for ball movement. He was swinging the ball, attacking closeouts, wide-open jump shots. When we keep the ball on one side of the floor and we try to go one-on-one, we did a chart that 0-1 passes, we shot like 15%, 2 to 3 passes, it was up to 30%. Anytime we moved the ball and had over 4 passes, we shot about 50%. So we continue to harp that on our guys. There's got to be ball movement. There's got to be swinging the defense from side to side. You got to trust your teammates. And when it comes down to it, again, we are so bad right now in not only in transition. When we get out and run, we just don't finish around the basket. And it just comes down to making tough shots or even making wide open shots. So it's just something we got to continue to work on.
How much of it is the game going to move through labor? I mean, you talk about movement, but obviously he's kind of the driving force.
Yeah, and we got to do a better job of not only just posting him up on the first action because they're able to double team, but like I said, move side to side, look for throwbacks, and then get him the post and look for a quick hit there. But then we have to do a good job and he has to do a better job of working out double teams also. But we always want to take the ball inside. We usually do a pretty good job, but that's one of our strengths is shooting free throws. The other night against IPFW, we didn't shoot a good percentage, but we do a good job of getting to the line.
And they went in the paint, a lot of points, defending in the paint. Obviously, in that game, a lot of their points came in the paint.
It's disappointing. It's the same thing that happened when you look back at the very first game against Davenport. They break you down, and every time you're in rotations, especially teams that can shoot threes, if you allow yourself to get beat on a straight line drives and you're in rotations and it's driving kicks and then they end up getting threes. So it just comes down to just willpower as far as stopping your man one-on-one from getting into the paint. And right now we're not very good at it. We don't have a lot of guys that can stop anybody, and it has a lot to do again with effort.
Coming up, Lopes insider Paul Coro joins the show to talk anything and everything in GCU athletics.
One more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Lopes.
Canyon State Credit Union, a local credit union serving the Valley for over 65 years, can assist you in buying your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home. Canyon State Credit Union can provide you with a fast and affordable solution that meets your needs. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Visit canyonstatecu.org or call 623-580-6015 for more information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu.
The Dan Marley Show on Fox Sports Arizona is presented by Talking Stick Resort. Play in style. And also brought to you by Cox Business.
One of my favorite Christmas memories is when I was 3 years old. My dad bought me a Little Tykes basketball hoop, and me and my brother had that basketball hoop in our room probably until I was like 10, and it was all beat up, but that was like where the most crazy one-on-one games happened, and I definitely attribute a lot of my early basketball skills to that Little Tykes basketball hoop, so it's my best Christmas memory.
Welcome back to the Dan Marley Show, presented by Talking Stick Resort. We are joined by the Lopes insider, Paul Coro. And Paul, as we join folks today, the team in a little bit of a funk right now, trying to gain their identity, trying to right the ship. Your thoughts and impressions after traveling with the team to Paradise Jam and here at home?
Well, I think we knew they were going to face some struggles just with the short rotation and leaning on some young people to contribute immediately. You've seen some successes, and they just can't establish consistency and hold on to it. There's good moments within the season and within games, but there's never any carryover throughout, and that's what they need to get established moving forward.
We've seen glimpses from Isaiah Braun. He had a long layoff over 600 days. He'd get back on the court, and we saw great flashes early on, and we went into a little bit of funk, and then he just came back with a career high, 21 points against Illinois State.
Yeah, and a lot of that was to credit with Ali Laver and the distractions he creates when he's in the post with double teams and defense is sucking down. Isaiah Braun hit 5 3-pointers in that game for a career high. He can be that type of shooter, but really his scoring game is on all levels. He can drive to the basket, he has got floaters and everything, so I think he's still finding his spots in the offense where he can score consistently.
And with Carlos, it's been tough because last year, he was kind of in the same kind of early season funk. He's even coming off the bench early on, but he came on strong late. So there's that hope there. But I guess there's just more of an immediacy to his game coming around this season because of the lack of depth, maybe.
Right, his scoring is sorely needed, and we know he's not going to shoot below 40% all season. That's just not who he is. But what we'd like to see from Carlos Johnson more of is the getting to the line, where he was doing that 8-10 times a game, and that's where he padded his points a lot and created a lot of problems for defenses who had to suck down on him because he was so aggressive. That three-point shooting will come around, but just that regular conversion of some easy points would really help.
Speaking of three-point shooting, nice transition into women's basketball because they're one of the nation's leaders at that category early on.
Yeah, amazing. Especially for such a young team to be leading the nation in three-point percentage. All freshmen and sophomores doing it. It's been different people. Ven Lavera's had a big game out of nowhere, and Jada Hollins had some big games as freshmen, stepping into a starting role while Piera was out. So, we knew Deja Daniel was going to be back as the all-WAC player and post presence and the only upperclassman in the rotation, but all freshmen and sophomores stepping up early already for Nicole Powell.
Stepping up definitely for Tim Nolan and the women's volleyball team this season. Great season, 24-6, second seed in that WAC tournament.
Yeah, when they finished the conference tournaments, they were tied for 15th in the nation for wins, and just a total team effort, not really a superstar on the team, just lots of solid players, although Annabelle Kabinski ended up in the top 20 in the nation for hitting. But, you saw the impact of like a freshman like Claire Mitchell, but then a senior like Melody Horton really got to go out on top for the great career she had.
Well, thanks, Paul. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Up next, we take you all around GCU athletics. Can you guess the live from May Bryant? And women's volleyball leaves its mark on the WAC.
Waking up with peace of mind. Just one of the little perks you get with the SRP Power app. Use it to make conscious decisions on the energy you use every day. No guessing. Everything you need to know. Download the SRP Power app now. SRP, delivering water and power.
Canyon State Credit Union, a local credit union serving the Valley for over 65 years, can assist you in buying your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home. Canyon State Credit Union can provide you with a fast and affordable solution that meets your needs. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Visit canyonstatecu.org or call 623-580-6015 for more information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
Hi, I'm May Bryant. I'm a freshman forward. I can do a backflip, I like to sing, and I can swim really, really fast.
I know this hands down.
May always talks about doing backflips.
She can do that.
And I just saw her stand and she was like, and she just did the backflip. And I was like,
Oh yeah, she can do a backflip. I've seen her do it.
I have not. I've seen it on video, but I've never seen her do it.
She loves to sing. She's always singing.
she always comes into my room singing.
She sings all the time, anywhere, everywhere you go.
Yes, all the time. She's in my room, so I always hear her singing.
She doesn't know how to swim. I know she doesn't know how to swim.
She's not a fast swimmer.
She's a fast swimmer is the lie.
She can't swim.
In pool workouts, she doesn't even beat me, and I don't even know how to swim, so.
I actually tried to teach myself how to do a backflip, and I landed on my neck and everything a lot of times. So my mom got me lessons, so I can do a backflip now safely most of the time. I do like to sing. You know, I like music. I'm not a great singer, but that doesn't matter. I'm gonna still let it out so everyone can hear it. And I cannot swim at all, so I cannot swim very fast. I will drown. I won't come back up.
Women's basketball is in full swing, and that was an opportunity to get to know one of their players. One team that had a very successful season on the court was the GCU women's volleyball team. Finished 24-6 overall, good enough for the second seed in the WAC tournament before eventually falling, unfortunately, to the top seed New Mexico State. But their success this season was definitely not unexpected.
The expectation for us is to win, and we know that. Our expectation is to win. There's no question about that. We want to go and prepare ourselves all preseason for the regular season conference to get that conference tournament seeding. So we're looking to make huge jumps in those categories and really surprise people.
Jack Kelly, blocked, point Grand Canyon.
When I took this job, the expectation was that we'd be here every year, and that's why I took it. Is I wanted to build a program that would compete for championships, but it feels great to see all that work, pay off and finally get here.
Grand Canyon Kubinski in the back corner. Grand Canyon ties.
I mean, it's a pretty cool feeling. I've been here for the last 2 years, and we haven't had very successful seasons, so for this one to be so successful has been a really surreal feeling.
Coming over and accepting her award.
Definitely one of the best liberos in the league.
Big slide and a bomb from Moss. Horton gets the kill. Hart blocked at the net.
Obviously, it's fun to play in an environment like that, and each play, you forget about the last, and that's kind of what makes it so much fun, is that you're going to be successful no matter what, as long as you're focusing on the next play and you're winning that moment.
It's time to take a look ahead for GCU Athletics with the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Cox Business. The men's basketball team takes their show over to Talking Stick Resort Arena for the Colangelo Classic, where they will take on Liberty. Then they return to GCU Arena for a much-anticipated battle with the Panthers from Northern Iowa. That game can be seen on Fox 10 Extra. Women's basketball hits the road for a pair of games, but will return on December 16th when they take on UNLV. And a reminder that all women's hoops games can be streamed at GCULopes.com. When we return, we get Dan's take on a tweet that went viral. Our camera hit the campus and opened it up to the students. What do they want to know about the head coach?
As a teacher, your calling was always to make a difference and positively impact the future. You live with a deep sense of purpose and strive to inspire generations of change. GCU's online Masters of Education degree program gives you the skills you need to grow and develop your career. You're not just inspiring future generations of leaders, you're giving them the tools they need to succeed.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
My favorite Christmas memory is when I got my chopper bike when I was like 11, 10. I didn't know how to ride it, but I always wanted one. And then my dad surprised me with one, so that was a kind of cool thing. And like our tradition, we just cook, and it's good. And that's why it's a tradition. Like, it's really good. You should come check it out.
Welcome back to the Dan Marley Show, presented by Talking Stick Resort. Well, we've talked a lot about the atmosphere. We've talked a lot about the havocs. It's just a wild atmosphere in GCU Arena. But Andy Staples from The Athletic was out a few weeks ago, and again, some more pub. Donovan Mitchell, the former Louisville Cardinal, now Utah Jazz player, standout, putting some love out there on social media, as this is one of the toughest places he's ever played.
No, I mean, there's no question it's a special place. Yeah. It was funny, last year I went to the Suns game when they gave out my award, the Hustle Award, and they happened to be playing Utah. And so I was out on the floor, and Donovan Mitchell, who I've only met a couple times, actually came up to me and referenced that.
Did he?
Yeah, so he's been in the pros, I don't know, it was maybe 2 or 3 years or 2 years or whatever, and he still came up and referenced what a great atmosphere we had and how much fun he enjoed playing in our arena and how it was the best crowd. So, yeah, it's exciting that we get to play in front of that kind of atmosphere. And I tell our guys all the time, you can't take it for granted. And that's one of the things that's really upsetting this year is that we do play in front of that crowd, and we should be giving a maximum effort every game.
Well, speaking of fun, it's time once again for Ask a Lope.
Hey, Coach. Tell us, what's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? And no potatoes allowed.
Thanks, Hanks, for that question. My Thanksgiving favorite side is definitely stuffing or dressing, I guess, from wherever you're from. But that's probably my favorite, with a great dose of watching the Lions lose. So I watch the Lions lose every Thanksgiving, but I got that dressing right by me, and that kind of eases the pain a little bit. So that's by far my favorite side.
Is it a tradition to have the Lions lose every?
You tell me. I mean, I grew up in northern Michigan, and I've always been a huge Lions fan. So Thanksgiving was a big time around our house. We'd sit around and watch the Lions. As a young kid, you have such hope that they're going to win, and you sit there and you wait, and if they don't, your Thanksgiving's kind of ruined. But as you get older and wiser, you just kind of roll with the punches, and I just sit down on the couch with the beverage and a big plate of dressing, and I just wait for the Lions to implode.
Up next, we wrap the show with our play of the week and a look ahead to the Colangelo Classic.
Oh, baby, come on and say it now. Just let the words come out.
No calories, no sweeteners, all smiles. Bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Waking up with peace of mind. Just one of the little perks you get with the SRP Power app. Use it to make conscious decisions on the energy you use every day. No guessing. Everything you need to know. Download the SRP Power app now. SRP, delivering water and power.
One more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Lopes.
No calories, no sweeteners, all smiles. Bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
It's time for the Talking Stick Resort Play of the Week. Play in style.
Long pass, tough pass. Oh, and somehow Johnson fires a full court pass.
Carlos Johnson
Ali,
walking to the
Ali
bench with
lays
his
it in.
hands up like he's Tom Brady, which he was on that one. He threw it about 70 feet.
Welcome back to the Dan Marley Show, presented by Talking Stick Resort. Coach, as we look ahead, you've got a trip downtown. You know that ride.
Yeah.
Talking Stick Resort Arena. You take on Liberty. You're back at the Colangelo Classic. Talk a little bit about the last few years and playing in those games downtown.
It's exciting. It's always exciting for me because I've had such great history there.
Yeah.
You know, we opened that building in '92 with the year that we went to the finals with that Charles Barkley team. So that building means a lot to me. I had some great games and great experiences in there. So it's always fun for me to go back there. But it's going to be a great experience for our guys. All these guys love to play in NBA arenas, to play in the Talking Stick Resort. The arena will be a lot of fun for them, and we're playing a heck of a team. Liberty is, last time I looked, was right behind Gonzaga in the top mid-major poll. They were number 2. So this is a team that's really good defensively, haven't lost yet. So this is going to be a great test for us, and I know our guys will be up for it. But it'll be fun going back downtown and playing.
Yeah, what's it like when you walk out there and, come on, you got to take a peek. Yeah. You're
gotta
looking
look-
obviously your
gotta
name
look
up
to see if
there.
they
They
haven't
didn't
tearing it down. But yeah, it's always, like I said, it's not only that. It's just when you walk into there were so many
people,
great games and memories and people that are still there, from the security staff to everybody that works there. So, that's some of the best times of my whole life were spent in that arena with my teammates and winning some huge games and playing in front of a great crowd. So it's always fun going back there and experiencing that again.
You mentioned Liberty, though. More than likely, they're going to be 10-0. They got 4 of their 5 returning starters coming back this year, a tournament team. They won the opener before losing in the NCAA tournament in that second game.
Yeah, very talented. Like I said, I haven't sat down and studied their games yet, but I will. But I know defensively they are really good. They hold opponents to a low field goal percentage and not many points. So, again, we're going to have to go out there and really find a way to play well and win the game.
And then you got Northern Iowa coming in here, another tough opponent.
Another really good team.
They're back at GC
Yeah,
Arena.
they're playing great. Coach Jacobson, who's a good friend of mine, has done a great job there. We went down there last year and beat them. So they have a bunch of guys who can really shoot it, move the basketball. They've gotten off to a terrific start. So, again, that will be a really good test, and it's great that we have them home because that's a really good program.
Now, we're in December now, and we know that Mikey Dixon's going to be coming back here. That's got to be nice just to have a warm body and some depth.
Well, I'm happy for Mikey. He's been really working hard. He transferred here from St. John's, and it's been a year now, and he's taken him a while. So, he's not going to be a guy that's going to be our savior. He's a really good player, but we have to realize that he hasn't played for almost a year. And practice, no matter how hard you practice and at the time you put it, it's going to take him a while to get back into the flow of things. But he's going to be a welcome sight for us. He can really shoot the basketball. He can really play.
All right, good luck.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks you so much for tuning in to the Dan Marley Show.